Here in The Cut, we challenge our guests to finish a tub of ice cream before the end of the conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Adriel Smiley. Now, in The Cut, we challenge our guests to finish a tub of ice cream before the end of the conversation. Today, we have a first-time guest with a new EP out right now called Maybe Next Time. Welcome to the show, Chrissy Spratt.
Thanks for having me. I didn't know I have to finish this whole thing. That's crazy.
Have to is strong. Your body, your choice. But we would like you to. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. So tell everyone about the flavor that you chose and what do you think your chances are? It seems like you're a little weary about actually finishing it, but tell us about the flavor.
Oh, yeah. This would make me sick if I had to eat all of this.
And what flavor did you choose?
I chose like a chocolatey peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, look at these chunks.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's a sentence right there.
Yeah. Brownie, something or other. This is actually pretty good, though.
Okay. All of our ice cream for season 3 is provided by Eva's Original Chimneys. All my people in Toronto, GTA. If you don't know, get familiar. And they have vegan flavors, okay? So all of you who are dairy-free, they can work for you as well. I want to actually go back in time if we can, okay? As far back as is appropriate.
Okay.
Now, you talked about you started really getting into singing in high school, okay? A lot of singers I know have like almost like a North Star when it comes to singing. Someone who they either idolize or they kind of copy. Who's your kind of North Star as a singer? Someone who's like, you know, God to you as a singer.
Honestly, that was Destiny's Child for me.
Wow. It was crazy. I kind of knew that you were going to say that. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
To be honest, I knew you were going to say that, but I didn't want to bring it up because my ex is a huge Destiny's Child fan, and RIP to her. We just didn't want to go down that road. But I had a feeling. I was like, yeah, you feel like a DC fan to me.
Yeah, I was a big DC fan. Maya, Brandy.
Mm-hmm. The goats.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a huge argument in elementary school that Destiny's Child was the best band out. And if you had seen me argue at whatever it was, 11 years old, they were like, they're not a band. They don't play instruments. I'm like, the voice is an instrument. So I'm with
my
you.
God.
They were the best. They were the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel like they influenced your actual singing style? Because I think sonically, also your music is very different from theirs. But in terms of how you use your voice, how do you feel like they influenced you?
I think it's just listening to their music and singing along with everything, the melodies, the flow.
Yeah.
I guess when it came to like writing my own music, maybe sort of like the topics, I just like heavily influenced in like all aspects. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're in a time where people don't know about Destiny's Child. I saw the Renaissance movie. I think it was 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And when she brought Destiny's Child, I'm in the theater like, yeah. Like I had a reaction and it was just me, so it was kind of awkward. And I looked around like, how old are you people that you don't know?
Like,
yeah, I couldn't.
Like they're iconic. Like how can you not know?
No, I couldn't believe it. And then kind of going forward, because you had, I would say, a career before this one, you know, in terms of like what you did before and doing music. How would you describe what you were doing musically before like preparing for this EP? Because I think this EP is kind of its own special place.
Yeah.
So how would you describe what you were doing musically before this EP?
I would say that before this EP, my music was very pop R&B centered. And because in these last few years, I've been heavily influenced by Afrobeat music, I've kind of blended the two. So it's sort of this fusion of, I still have like my R&B melodies, but now I'm fusing it onto like this different type of production. So just like the two things like combined, I think it's like just creating this like really cool different sound.
I'm so happy you said that. I literally described it to my friend the exact same way.
Really?
So I feel like a genius right now.
There you go.
I love that for me. I love that for me. And why I think going into your past is important, because you had this big moment in 2019, opening for Snoop. What kind of led up to that? Like, where were you at in your career? What were you doing? Like, paint the picture for me. Take me to that place.
I mean, like, I had my YouTube channel. I didn't have TikTok yet. I had my Instagram page. And I was just pumping out cover songs, doing like also original music. And I was collaborating a lot, working with different people. in the industry, and this opportunity sort of just like presented itself, and I didn't actually know what I was getting myself into. Like, honestly, I remember like getting to like the first venue because it was a 4-stop tour around Ontario, and I just remember like getting to, was it Peterborough? I think Peterborough was the first stop, and I'm just like, oh, like we're in a stadium. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, like,
big.
it's big. And I'm like, obviously, duh, it's Snoop Dogg. Like, I should have put two and two together. But, like, you know, I'm just, like, going with the flow.
Yeah.
So here I am, like, doing the sound check on this, like, massive stage. And I'm just like, wow, like, this is going to be so crazy. Like, these next, like, tour dates, these are going to be crazy. But yeah, it was a vibe. Like, it was really fun. And, like, obviously, like, the more you do it, you get a little bit more comfortable. So, like, I would say by, like, the third show, I was like,
oh,
I got this.
Yeah. How nervous were you for the first one, though? Because that has to be, like, almost a jump scare.
So nervous. So nervous. Like, even just, like, hanging out backstage and, like, the mic is in my hand and I'm, like, waiting for the cue to go up the stairs. I'm just like, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you don't really feel it until you're on the stage. That's when you're like, oh, this is really, really happening. And then as well, like, so I work at TIFF, and my first year at TIFF, I had to do an intro, which usually you don't want that to happen.
What's an intro?
Like introducing the film, introducing the actors. And it was one of the really, really big cinemas, you know, like 3,000 people, something like that. And I talk in front of people, you know, my background is in theater, on the stage, hosting things.
Yeah.
But when I got on that stage and I looked up into the crowd, it was almost like whatever I had to do. And I was reading off my phone. Like, it wasn't like I had to.
No!
And as soon as I looked up, I was like, oh my God, they're all looking at me. So when you talk about like doing these big stadiums, it's almost so different from like knowing it's a lot of people, being backstage. But once you're on the stage, you're like, oh, this is really happening.
You know what it is? It's when, at least for me, the anxiety comes from the anticipation.
Yes.
But when you're in the moment, like there's no choice. Like you're on the stage, it's almost like you just sort of like tap in and you're just doing your thing. And it's almost like all of that anxiety disappears.
You're being present.
Yeah, you're being present. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Listen, that's key for someone. I think that's like a lot of what anxiety actually technically is defined as that, like worrying about the future. You know? So I think if you can find a way to be present leading up to the thing, but I heard you say this, which I thought was right. You said if you're not nervous or anxious, then that means you don't care.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to that, because a lot of people say they still get nervous and anxious no matter how many years they are in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you feeling that about the tour coming up? Because you guys are doing some big rooms. So how are you feeling about this tour coming up? Because people are going to be showing up for you now. This is not for Snoop.
Exactly.
This is for you.
I know. That's literally like my thought process on it. It's nerve-wracking because it's not a Snoop Dogg tour and people are, you know, like
just there. Yeah.
This is like, no, people are coming like to see me. Like they're paying for tickets, you know, with their hard-earned money. So it's like, I want to make sure that I give them an experience and I give them a show, something that they can walk away from being like, that was a really fun evening.
Yes.
You know, but there's a lot of prep going into it, and I think that's making me a little bit more comfortable. So I sort of like, I know what I'm stepping into.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's going to be one of those things like the more shows I do along this tour, the more comfortable I'm going to get with it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to see like the evolution from like the first show, like all the way to the last one.
I'm excited too, because I feel like your first tours that are yours is just so different.
Yeah.
Because a lot of artists, your first time doing big rooms is not for you. People don't know who you are. They're not there for you. And you got to still kind of try and win them over. But it's like, they don't really care. They're here to see who they're here to see. You're just here to fill the time while they get drunk.
They probably don't even know your music. You know? They
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think about that because I've seen so many really, really good artists as openers. Like I've seen Sir probably 3 or 4 times as an opener. And now, you know, he does his own shows. I remember seeing July Talk open I saw Kendrick as an opener.
No way.
So it's like seeing these artists as openers, you're like, you don't know who you're going to see. Like this could be someone pretty cool. So I really like that. I want to talk about the project now. Okay, I told you off mic what I was doing when the project was on.
Tell the people.
No, we're going to keep it secret. We're going to keep it a secret.
He was dancing.
Allegedly. What was the first song that you created in building the project? Like, what was the first one that you're like, okay, this is where we're starting at?
The first one. So there's a few. There's a few on this project that kind of were created in the same studio session. So I flew out to Miami to work with a producer / writer called Dermola. He is so freaking talented. And he is very, very well known in like the Latin space, like the Afrobeat space.
Yeah.
And he just understood the assignment. Like he just really understood like what I was trying to achieve, and he just knew how to pull it out of me. So we started with In Too Deep.
Okay.
In that same, and not same day, but like we had like multiple sessions.
Yeah.
We did Like This. And then we also have another song that we did that's not on this project right now, but like they're fire. Like all of these songs are fire.
Are we gonna get this other song?
Yeah,
or?
for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so I would say In Too Deep probably really started off this like the vibe. In Too Deep started off the vibe. And then Like This, and then the rest of the song sort of like fell into place.
I'm gonna ask you about Like This in a second because that's my favorite song on there. But why I've asked that is because there is like a theme lyrically here. And In Too Deep, I think, as a starting point, it makes a lot of sense. Because when you say In Too Deep, I want to know what you actually mean by that. Because when I hear In Too Deep, I think about being lost in the sauce. You're deep in it, and it's like, I don't need to be this lost in the sauce. Like I can just chill and enjoy this, you know? So talk about what In Too Deep means to you, because I think there's a lot of kind of themes of that all over the project.
Yeah. And like every time like I do talk to somebody about In Too Deep, everybody has their own interpretation of what the song means. But I think to me, the song just meant, you know, making mistakes. Made mistakes, you're in too deep into a situation. That's really the gist of it to me.
I like the way you put that, making mistakes. I think I'm going to start using that phrase more often. It's kind of like kinder to the mistakes that I made, you know? It's like the mistakes are more rough than just making mistakes. But I like
as long
that.
as you learn from your mistakes, right?
Yes. No, it's true. Because you know what? That's funny. I say like, you don't know if you've learned until it comes up again.
That's
true. You know, it's like you're out of situation, and I forget who had this quote, but they said a lot of times you actually haven't healed. You just left the person who was hitting you. You know, and then when something else comes up, you're like, you'll find out, am I healed or am I not? So In Too Deep makes me think of that, because it's like, all right, I realized I was in too deep. The situation wasn't right for me. And then you think you're healed, and then maybe you might relapse or do it again or have similar things happen.
Just hitting the same cycle.
So give the people some advice.
You need to look inwards.
Period.
And I think a lot of it is just like self-reflection, clarity on, you know, who you are as a person, who do you want to be, where are you trying to go?
Self-love is a big part of that too. Yeah. No, listen, we're all about self-love at the Cool Table. So you're at the right place with that message. I think as well, there's a quote that someone said, the more you connect to the truth, the less you can be offended.
Yes.
And I think that is a big part of this, where it's like, you know, if I had to know the truth first. You know, I've been watching that documentary on Netflix, The Biggest Loser one. Have you seen it?
No.
Have any of you guys seen it? The Biggest Loser documentary? Of course, Chris has watched it.
What's that one about?
The TV show The Biggest Loser, where it's like a race who can lose the most weight, and they only have people on there who are like severely obese, you know? So it's like 300, 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And obviously the show was completely unsafe and, you know, a whole bunch of other things. But in watching the documentary, a lot of people are complaining about the show and saying how it was unhealthy, how much weight they lost, and they didn't treat them well. And a lot of people gained the weight back. There's a guy right now who I think now he's 340 pounds, and he won the show.
Okay.
And lost the most weight in the history of the show. And thinking about that, I'm like, these people don't seem self-aware. You know, it seems like they feel like the weight happened to them rather than they gained the weight themselves. And I think of like, when you connect to the truth, it's way harder to be offended, because one of the contestants is saying she went on the show and applied because she was watching the show at home while eating a cheeseburger. And I said, the math is here where it's like, So I think of that as like, it's almost like you didn't look at yourself that way until these things happened to you. But if you already looked at yourself that way, then maybe it'd be different.
I think self-awareness, I think a lot of people don't have self-awareness.
Name names.
We're not gonna do that. But it's such like a key thing to have, and like I don't know, it's just like, how do you like navigate through life without self-awareness?
I always, I'm like, how? But the thing is, a lot of people will lie to themselves. And my friend has a quote, he says, if they lie to themselves, they'll lie to you. And it's like, you don't want to look at yourself in that way. So you'll create whatever illusion in your head.
Yeah.
But I think self-awareness is the most important thing. Like, you can't really go anywhere without it. And self-awareness is almost like a cousin of delusion. Because in a sense, it's like, I've worked with a lot of celebrities where, they're all famous, quote unquote, but then there's levels. I remember last year I was at a premiere and Zoe Saldana came in, and obviously a huge star, great actress. Selena Gomez walks in, it's like she's a nobody. And it's self-awareness of like, yes, I'm still a big star, but there's levels to the stardom. And also, it doesn't mean that this person's quote unquote better than me. It's just a different thing. So I agree with you. Self-awareness, if we could put that in classrooms, like civics, careers, self-awareness.
Well, because it's like, you don't know what you don't know, right? So it's like every day you gotta you gotta learn a little bit and try to find that self-awareness,
It's hard though, because I feel like you learn things about yourself that you might not like. Like we're talking about in too deep. Like that's a part of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Where even myself, I'm like, this is my fault. Like, they might not have been great to me, but I was also in too deep. And to even have self-awareness of being like, no, I did this.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't feel good all the time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. A lot of people don't want to face that. And they like playing victim, so.
I don't even want to say name names because I don't want to get us canceled, okay? I don't want this to be the last episode of The Cool Table because we're calling people victims, okay? Everyone is beautiful. Everyone is lovely. Your body, your choice. Let's talk about Like This, because that's my favorite song on there. That's one song that I was shaking a tail feather to, as the kids would say. Talk about that song and how that came together.
So that song was kind of just like, it was just a vibe. And I'm trying to think like how it just like all got started. But I don't know, like I feel like we were just vibing, and it's like basically it's just a song about like, again, like you go 0 to 100 with somebody and then realize, after like the curtains pulled back a little bit, you're just like, oh, like maybe this isn't working out for whatever reason. But it's like, you want it one way, I want it another way. We're just not compatible.
Yeah. I like, well, obviously the beat is fire. Like that's one song that you have to move to. But I like the songs where you have that juxtaposition of the music is like so energetic and fun. And then what you're saying in the song is like, this isn't really the best right now.
Yeah.
Like it started out great, but it really kind of, I don't want to say died down quickly, but I really had the veil pulled over my eyes and now I can see clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what other song is like that too on the album or on the EP? Hold Me Down.
Yep.
Is exactly that. It's if you're not actually listening to the lyrics, you're just like, yo,
vibing.
Vibe. Like, and then it's like if you hear the lyrics or you read the lyrics, you're like, oh, this is totally opposite from this vibe.
No, I feel like the EP has so much of that because when I listened to it a couple times after I stopped shaking ass, I was like, she's been going through some things, like, you know what I mean? So I kind of like that mix because I think that mix, honestly, it makes it easier to listen in a sense.
Yeah.
And it works.
Well, because like I want to talk about these topics, but I also don't want it to be like a sad EP.
Yes.
Because that's not what it is. It's I don't want it to come across like, oh, like poor me, or like, I'm so sad. Like it's like, no, like shit happens.
Yeah.
and okay, like you keep it moving. And that's also why like I wanted to call the EP Maybe Next Time. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, okay, like it didn't work out this time, but maybe next time it will. Like,
Yeah.
maybe next time you'll get it right. Maybe next time I'll get it right. Maybe next time.
It's your fault. It's
Yeah.
definitely your fault. You start the EP off, I think the first line is "shit is crazy,"
Yeah,
something like that.
Shit got crazy.
Yeah, like even that to start it off, I was like, I'm strapped in. Like, let's see where we're going with this. Talk about that, because I even think that to start the project is like such a direct message.
Yeah, it's just, you know, chaos in relationships. Like shit got crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I want to test this out here. Okay, this is for everyone in the room. So Chris, Ola, you guys walk with me here. I've been asking people about death. Okay, what are your plans when you die? Because I recently saw this video where they said when someone gets cremated, the ashes might not even be the person you think it is. Have you guys seen that video?
No.
So someone who, you know, that's what they do for a living, and they're like, yeah, we just do a bunch of people at once, and you could have anyone's ashes.
Shut up.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I said, blood clots. That is insane. Right? So there's someone right now who thinks they got their granddad's ashes in their kitchen, and it's just Tom from down the street.
That's crazy.
So when I saw that, I said, okay, so maybe that's not the safest way to go if that's what people are choosing. But they have all these other options now. People can be made into jewelry, you know, like a ring or a necklace. They could turn someone into a record. And that's the way I'm going to go, I think. I think turning myself into a record.
What do you mean? Like a vinyl?
A vinyl. How do you guys feel about that? Like in terms of that being the way that it goes afterwards?
I mean, I would love that. I hope by then I have, you know, an iconic album out and just put me in my album.
See, I'm thinking of it more like it's maybe like a curated thing you have for your grandkids, you know, and they can hear you talk, you can drop gems. You know what I mean? So, not a bad idea? Okay, all right. I like that. Yeah, not a bad idea. And you're talking on the record, you're dropping some gems, and you play some music on it as well. Almost like your own curated radio show. But I thought of it because you say your album doesn't want to be sad. I wouldn't want that to be sad either, because I want you to listen to it more than once, you know? So I don't want it to be like, yo, granddad's dropping gems, but this is so sad. I can't play this. Is there a song that comes to mind that you think of that you would play for like your future ancestors? Or it could be your song, or it's a song that you like that just stands out to you. You know, for me, it's a D'Angelo song, Great Day in the Morning. Just the sonics of that record, it's like upbeat, but it's light. And I you know, where music is going, I'm sure 100 years from now, no one's going to be listening to that kind of music in the first place.
Who knows, though?
Fair.
Like, honestly, who
Fair.
knows? Music is such a cycle.
True.
You know?
Hopefully, listen, fingers crossed. If we get back to that place where we're listening to real instruments, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I don't know what that song would be. I don't know.
All right, we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
You think about it, let it marinate.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been thinking about. And I talked to my brother about it, and he said he might do like a song a year. And every year he'll think of a song that like, this would be my song of the year. I kind of make a playlist going forward. I'm like, I'm not mad at that. A song a year would be good. Because I feel like I have moments when I look back at my old Spotify, like top 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's some artists who I don't listen to at all right now.
Yeah.
And they're like all in my top 10 from 2019. So yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know about songs that didn't make the project. Because I was did you guys see that laugh? That was low key evil. Yeah. That was evil, damn. So tell me why you did that evil laugh before I even move on.
Because, okay, so...
Damn.
Because there's so much good music that I'm just dying. I just want to put everything out right now.
Okay.
I want to put everything out. But no, there's a few tracks that they didn't make the EP just because as a whole, as a project, it just didn't make sense for them to be in that project. But yeah, no, they're definitely coming out at some point.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I felt like its EP could have been 10 songs. Like,
could have been.
Yeah. Like, I feel like the 5 were cohesive. You have another 10. We get to even more minutes. Like, this could be play at the pre. You know, before we go out, just run the whole EP.
Yep.
Is that something that I guess you think of in the studio when you're working on these records, or?
Well, I don't necessarily think about it in the moment because in the moment I'm just working off of the mood in that particular moment.
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm in a good mood, I'm probably going to end up making music that's, lively and happy. But I do think about it afterwards, like once the project or like the song is done. I do think about, okay, like who would be listening to this? Where would they be playing it? Is this late night car rides? Is this like in the club? Like what is like the proper place to be playing this music?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it is what it is, I guess. And then yeah. I'm just trying to think. I'm like going through like all the songs like on my EP right now and just trying to think like do they all have a specific place that you would play them? Like to me, yeah, like getting ready before going out.
Yeah.
All of them would work. Or just cruising.
Yeah,
just cruising with your friends.
And I think that like the EP itself, like actually could have its own place. Like each song individually is obviously its own thing, but the EP as a whole can be played like all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were working in bars and you were serving, what were you thinking about in terms of your music career? Because I know now it must be so different to go back and like think about that time or even go back to those places. But where did you see your career at that time? Did you kind of have the vision of like one day it'll be this or like this?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Yeah. It was always temporary. Serving was always going to be the side hustle for the main hustle because at the end of the day, like to do what I'm doing, like to have a music career, you need to fund yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, like even just, studio time, gear, traveling to collaborate with other people, paying for mixes, like everybody needs to get paid.
Yeah.
Right? So that was always the side hustle for this. And I remember like maybe like just like a few years back, I'm just like something's got to give. Like something's got to give because like I don't want this to be like the most permanent temporary job, you know? I'm just like something has to give, but I'm in a good place right now and I'm really thankful for all of those years that I worked in that industry because it taught me a lot. I met a lot of people, connected with a lot of people, and I mean like even just from like DJs, like I know so many DJs from all these clubs that I worked at, and like from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it's like they're all over the world now, and it's like I'm connected because of these jobs. So yeah, like I'm just always like super thankful for it.
Yeah, I think about that too a lot because sometimes you meet these people almost just as people before you connect industry.
Yeah,
and in a way that actually helps more. Like I think about people who I know who I met working random jobs as a brand ambassador or just at a restaurant, and now it's like. Yeah, we're in the music industry, but I know you like as a person.
Yeah, exactly.
So that helps.
Yeah. Or like even like, kids who are like literally just starting out with like their camera, they come into the club or like for an event or something and they're there to like film the night or whatever. 10 years later, they got so much experience and I'm like, you want to film my music video? But like we have that like relation from so long ago. So it's definitely like I was in like the right industry for what I'm doing.
And you were in the right headspace, I think, in terms of talking about it as temporary. Because I used to work in a restaurant too, and a lot of creatives work in that industry.
Yeah.
A lot of creatives in that industry. And I think there's a part where it's not a race because everyone has their own story, but it's kind of seeing who's going to be here in terms of like, who's going to stay here, who's going to actually graduate, let's say.
Graduate the service industry.
That's real. That is so real. So I think that's a big part of it is because you definitely see people who don't graduate. So it's like having that foresight to be like, no, like I'm not gonna be like them. Like I'm gonna be where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the most important question we have here. Okay,
what is it? I'm scared.
So when people get $100 million, they get an exotic animal. Okay, Justin Bieber with his monkey, Michael Jackson with his monkey, Mike Tyson with his tiger. So when you get to $100 million,
yep.
What exotic animal are you going to bring into your life?
Monkey. Monkey.
Not even thinking.
No, monkey. I love monkeys.
Are you going to tell us more about this love for monkeys?
I don't know. I've just always had a love for monkeys. I think they're just like the cutest things ever. And I always see these videos like on TikTok or Instagram, like They can like come up and they like hug you with like their human arms, and I'm just like, oh, like, you're so cute. And they're little like hairy, and I don't know. They're just they're cute to me, like any kind of monkey.
I think monkey is the best answer.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that because people are gonna be on this after you, but monkey,
Whatever.
I think because it's like the actual mix between having a kid and having an animal. You know, people say dog is that, but I feel like monkey is like the actual mix of that.
Yeah.
And there's like a different level of affection you can have with a monkey that you can't have with other animals that walk on four legs or a fish or something like that. So I like monkey. I was watching Righteous Gemstones recently, and there's a whole part in there where there's a monkey who's like someone's butler technically.
Okay.
And basically he wants to leave his wife for the monkey because him and the monkey become so close.
Damn.
So when I think of monkey, I think of that of like that's how close you can get to a monkey, even more than like a dog. So I'm not mad at that one. And $100 million, you can get more than one. Like this monkey can have a partner. You could have a whole gang of them.
Little family of monkeys.
You could have a road monkey. You could have a one at home. Like I see the vision. I see it. Yeah. Now you've got my brain spinning because I'm thinking about what kind of house you'd have to have for a monkey. Like what's a monkey safe? Monkey safe
Tall
house.
ceilings.
Yeah.
And just like a little park for them, you know, where they can like hang off of furniture and like you just
Do some parkour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's the word.
Yes.
That's
okay.
the word, parkour. Yeah.
All right. I'm with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living his best life.
And they feel less captive.
Yeah.
You know, I think like that's the thing is that you don't want to feel like SeaWorld for the monkey. You want the monkey to feel free. You know, so I feel like a monkey can feel free because they can walk around with you. They can do their thing. So, listen, I'm pro monkey here, and of course, there's no wrong answers. Any animal you choose would have been great. Let's see where you're at with the ice cream.
I mean, I feel like I did pretty good.
You actually did not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you had done a little bit better, but I was asking you questions.
You had me talking a lot.
Yep.
So you know.
All right. Could be worse. Could be worse. We have this segment on the radio show called Wednesday Wisdom. We look for a motivational quote or saying either you remind yourself of or the people around you. So what's that saying for you?
Okay, this is something I don't want people to take this in like the wrong way, but I am the prize. I think it's just such an inspirational quote to remind yourself that like you got to do life for yourself, you know, and like you got to give it main character energy. And like you can't be letting stupid boys and, you know, relationships and whatever, like just people confusing you and trying to bring you down. Like you really got to like remind yourself every day, like you're the prize.
No, retweet that. That's a good one. I think that goes for everyone. Like, just remind yourself you're the prize. Someone told me once, they said, you can do whatever you want. And people always forget that. And I think that's a...
Free will.
Yeah, no, like... But it's like you have these constrictions mentally that either you grew up with or society puts on you, or even you might put on yourself. And it's like, no, you're the one putting the limits on. The universe has no limits. It's you that has the limits. So I like that idea of like, you're the prize.
Yeah, just walk through life with your head held high, you know, like...
I think if you tell the wrong people that they're the prize, it could go left.
Yeah, that's why I said like I don't want this to be interpreted in like the wrong way, but like that's my definition of when I say like I'm the prize. You gotta have like belief and confidence in yourself.
Listen, I definitely think I'm the prize. You don't gotta tell me twice. Chris knows that for sure. Like you don't gotta tell me once. Like I definitely think I'm the prize. So listen, if you didn't hear anything else from this interview, you're the prize is the one thing you gotta leave with. Yeah, I like that. I feel like we haven't had that many quotes like that, and I like that you had the little precursor before to kind of warn us.
Yeah,
yeah, like 100%. Because there's a part of the internet that will take this,
just that clip, and be like, "This girl,
I can't believe she said that.
Why would she say that?"
Yeah, no, and also you kind of tailored it more towards women. I think that's important too. You know,
yes.
But men, you're the prize too. Okay, not more the prize than women, but you're also a prize. Also have some worth. So yeah, everyone love yourself. That's exactly the moral of the story.
Yeah.
I appreciate you joining us, man. This has been a great conversation.
This is fun.
No, I'm excited for everyone to hear the EP. The EP is out right now. If you guys haven't heard it, tap in. Please follow her on all the streaming platforms, all social platforms.
Chrissy Spratt.
Oh, Another Vanna White. Another Vanna White. I'm very excited for everyone to hear this, honestly. Like,
Me too.
more than anything, I'm like, I think everyone's gonna actually love this project. And I think too, like, this is gonna really, really have everyone be like, I'm ready for whatever's next.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very excited. Make sure you guys subscribe to us on YouTube. At The Cool Table on YouTube, at The Cool Table Live on Instagram. If you want to hear the radio show every single Wednesday at 11 a.m., 12:80 a.m. in Toronto, metradio.ca online. And until next time, know yourself, know your worth.